So, based on the fact that I made $11 million last month, I made the decision, whether it made sense or it didn't. I made the decision to buy out MLW. Um, MLW had been struggling to make money. MLW was falling on harder times, and this was. I know some might wonder, oh well, MLW is in business now, yada 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 yada. Yes, MLW is in business now. Yes, MLW does have that aspect of things um, together. I do wonder if does this mean that I have Brian Danielson on two contracts because I bought out his MLW contract. But now we have the MLW titles, the Global Tag Team Championship crown, the world title with Brian Danielson, which probably should have thought about that until probably should have waited until I had Brian Danielson leave again because Brian Danielson had been on loan. And of course, Paul Diamond as MLW Junior Heavyweight Champion. Um, I don't like this idea because I don't like the fact that he is a middleweight holding a junior heavyweight title. Because it's the concept of just being junior heavyweight champion. Like, oh, he's a light heavyweight, so that's what makes sense. Blah 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 blah. But the amount of titles we have now, it is completely insane. But now we also got a few more teams, and also it was the only way that I could get Raven, Sabu. I mean Raven, Shane Douglas brought in. It's the only way I could get certain people brought in, so I had to make this choice, and it also helps me because it gives us the opportunity to rebuild the tag team division with the smattering of tag teams that were a part of MLW and bringing them into my company to allow that to take place. I don't know I don't know how I feel about having Harry Smith stick around because Harry Smith at this point is supposed, based on, the year, he is 17 years old and I don't really have a high realm of interest in employing a 17-year-old. So there's that. And, it's just the idea of, it's just the idea of figuring out, like, I was, I was giving rosters to everybody. And I figured that the best way to do it, instead of giving rosters to everyone, would be to document it a little bit. To document a little bit before I finished giving rosters to everyone, because uh, here are the new people on Raw. Raw only had 3 referees, so I figured that giving them a little bit more on the referee side would help. Mike Shane and Todd Shane and Samu and Mana will be going to Raw. Homicide is on Raw because I didn't want to just. I'm unsure of the cruiserweight division and how those guys will be like associated and integrated because I don't know perception wise where those guys are going to stand. I may actually move TJ Wilson to Raw and slide Homicide over to SmackDown, like swap them, just because Homicide might be actually more in a prominent. He'll be a little bit higher value, but not much higher comparing. But now we got to go back to no brand and going through the roster. Right now we have officially, which is insane, we have 136 people on the active talent roster, and that's wrestlers on the active talent roster, which is absolutely insane, to be honest with you. Um, I really don't know what I wanted to, which is another reason why I wanted to document this. I mean, I really do hope that I don't have to re-sign him, but even if I do have to re-sign him, that's okay, because even if he disappears for now, like I would put him on a hiatus, like maybe just put him on a SmackDown now, like put him on the SmackDown pre-show and then bring him back because now there's a built-in feud with either him and Rob Van Dam or him and Edge as they're the mid-card champions. There's of course a built-in feud with Paul Diamond going against the cruiserweight champion, that being Billy Kidman. So I do think I have to move Paul Diamond to SmackDown. A lot of this was going to be filling up Velocity and having stuff on Velocity and Heat. But yeah, I mean, I bought out MLW. I basically said that if it cost $1 million to buy out the company, then, the fact of the matter is, all I have to do is, like, spending $1 million to buy out when I made $1 million last season, I mean, last month, it's like it's a catch 22 at some cases, but at the same time, I thought it was a no brainer. To be honest with you, I thought it was a no brainer. The fact that you know we made that type of money last month, and I was giving them the opportunity to try and reconcile, to try and come back, and the financials for this company was just getting worse. So I figured, why the heck not just let it go, let it run, and see what happens next. But I think what we may do, um, are Tommy and him a tag team? The answer to the question is no. They could be though. They could be though. I mean, that's something worth considering. Tommy and Terry Funk as a tag team. The Barbarian is apparently a tag team champions with Nathan Jones. Oh my gosh. um, I mean, there's just so many decisions to make now. I can make it easy for myself and slide him over to Raw because Samu's on Raw. But there's so many decisions to make. And also, the crazy thing is, everyone that works for me now that I brought in is under a handshake deal. So it's crazy that I'm going to have all these guys on their handshake deals. Yes, there are some people that may not stick around, but there are also some people that may not be able to be signed back for a variety of reasons, namely his working relationship with Chris Jericho and Raven's working relationship with Vince McMahon, Shane Douglas, and his problems with the Click, and Ric Flair. There are a variety of people that may have a problem or two being re signed, but I just figured that before I did all the work, I would show you guys the fact that I just bought out MLW, and now I have the fun to try and dwindle down a bloated roster but it will help as I try and rebuild WWE in the year 2004. So, with that being said, if you like content like this, feel free to drop a like on the video, subscribe, and any and all interactions are more than welcomed and appreciated because they help us with the algorithm. So, I very much appreciate anything you want to leave on this video. Like, subscribe, yada 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 yada. And also, feel free to drop a comment and let me know what you think of the fact that I bought out this company and if there's any specific talent that you saw in this list that I should take an extended look at. Let me know down in the comment section below. With that being said, though, I will see you in the next video, and don't forget to ding dong that bell to always know when that next video is up on the channel. Till next time, signing off.